I don't know how to break this to you, but I think the president might be racist. No, wait, hear me out. I know I sound crazy. And you know what? Personally, as someone from South Shithole, I'm offended, Mr. President. Okay, I'm offended.
What I feel about what Donald Trump has said right now with the statement that he's issued, I feel as if this guy doesn't have like self-respect for black people as such.
Yes, it hurt me a bit because we're not shithole. We people, we just like him. It's like Donald Trump is breathing flavored oxygen. We are the same people. We're not different.
To a continent of 1.4 billion people, 54 countries, it can be a shithole. So we are extremely offended, but I think it speaks more of the man's character than what Africa is.
As an African, I'm disgusted. I don't even know what to say.
Mr. Donald Trump, my people, African country, we're not shithole country. You stupid, racist, bigotry. You are the shithole president. You know what I'm saying? In Africa, we don't love you, really.
I'm surprised that people are making a big deal out of it, to be honest. Because it's not like we didn't know Trump was a racist. You know, it's been very clear from when he was running, when he was campaigning for the office, and even after he got in, that he has a rather low opinion of people who are not, let's say, of his skin color.
I'm not surprised because, I mean, Donald Trump, we've always known that he's a racist. But when he does things like this, people need to realize that he's just trying to distract from all the stuff that's happening to him. So people need to not react, that's the key.
I think we're kind of past that point. I think the initial ban of countries which Sudan was amongst was the first punch in the gut. I remember waking up and seeing that and it coalescing. I could almost feel it on my skin, kind of seeping into me, this realization that it didn't really matter as an African, as a Muslim, what you have achieved in the eyes of so many people, including clearly the eyes of the President of the United States. We would always be second-class citizens, and perhaps along the way you get inoculated to that. What was interesting this morning when we woke up to these comments here in Khartoum was the response from so many of my friends and family. I don't think I am under any illusions as a female Muslim journalist what the President of the United States thinks of me. I think what's been really interesting is the impact that this is happening on how the world is viewing America. And that's what's really sad, the erosion of this perception of America as a beacon, as somewhere to look towards in terms of institutions and democracy and freedom of press, and this ability as a human being, which doesn't exist in many African countries, to work really, really hard and realize your dreams in countries that are often mired in corruption and cronyism. I think that was what America really solidified, what it represented, and that's what's been really sad. As someone who is so proud to work for an American network, to be a journalist at CNN, what's been sad is hearing people doubting that my colleagues and co-workers are worthy of respect and trust, and that fundamentally they respect me. I think that's what's been really difficult today, Brooke.
It's not unexpected from somebody of his nature, owing to the fact that we already know his kind of person. So I don't feel I just think it's a normal statement someone like him can make. All we've got to do as Africans is just to step up our game.
It is a burgeoning middle-class economy across the continent. This is something that I think a lot of Americans aren't aware of. Africa is a market that Americans want in on. And when the President of the United States comes out with these kind of boldly racist comments, whether he was quoted directly or indirectly, the reality is that this is in keeping of what Africans know of him. When we hear this, it impacts America's soft power. It impacts America's market share. And instead of people carrying Apple phones, they carry Samsung. Instead of people aspiring to drive Fords and GMs, they aspire to drive Hyundais and Toyotas. So how does that fit with President Trump's business-friendly perspective when it comes to representing US interests in Africa? So it's not just about this, about the age-old issues of terror and the historical ties between Africa and America. This is also about the bottom line in terms of the US taxpayer. Do African consumers want to buy into America, the brand? And sadly, increasingly, the answer is going to have to start being no, Brooke.
Today, when Trump met with the Prime Minister of Norway, he was like, what do you guys do with your black people? And she was like, oh, we don't have any. He was like, wow.
Share this video with friends and family to support the channel.